I just want to sit here and smile for a minute. 1,000. We did it. We did it. And I say we because there's no me without you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You don't know what it means to me when I get a text message from somebody or an email from one of you. And you're sending me, I just watched this video and here's what I want to tell you. Or you want to show me something that you're working on, or you need help with something, or, tragedy strikes in this city that I live in, and you guys are flooding my phone and my email with, are you okay? Is this near you? I was at the Eagles parade and had no idea that there was a shooting away from me. I was south of the parade. This was north of the parade. And I'm like, I better go check this because Michelle contacted me and said, are you okay? And I'm like, what is she talking about? And I'm like, oh my God, like I was so worried about the kids that were on the roof and on the light poles that they not fall, because we did have a tragedy when we won, that we were going to the Super Bowl, and the mayor has pleaded with these young kids to please not do this, and they just don't listen. So John was saying, get that kid over there, look at him waving the flag. I'm like, no, I'm not getting that kid on the flag. He's making me nervous. I'm not taking his picture. But when I started a membership for the channel, and YouTube gives you like, here's what you can add is like a bonus to like members, not only getting to hear from you privately, but you can do shout outs. I'm like, I do that anyway because it was so important to me to make a connection with the people that I'm speaking to, and not just speaking to this thing and like, is there anybody out there, anybody listening to me? So, and not just make a connection with you, but for you guys to make a connection with each other. And you do. I just met Tracy, and she was showing me, when I was doing my bookmark, she's like, oh, I love Make Market. I'm so glad that you did something from Make Market, and look at what I made for Christmas. And it was so beautiful. And then Pam showed up. I don't know if she was just passing through, but she showed up and she was like, help, like I'm near tears. Does this get easier if I get a better canvas? I'm like, no, there's no tears in diamond painting, but I knew who to reach. And so I reached Tracy and I'm like, listen, you've done a big Make Market canvas. Can you please, go over to the comment section and maybe you can calm Pam down and we can get her, to like enjoy this process and not be crying. It's what I love most about this community. I really, 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 really do. And when I can make a connection somewhere, I try to do that. And it just makes, I believe, this place feel like a big warm hug. A big warm hug. Oh, so talking about a warm hug, I got my tea. I'm warding off what the boys have. I think they just had me at a point of exhaustion yesterday because I left, what is today, Sunday? So Saturday. So Friday night, my son said, I'm going to stop by the house. Do you have like Theraflu or something? I'm like, what's going on? And he said, I don't feel good. And when my son gets sick, he never gets a cold. He was severely premature when he was born. He was 16 weeks early. So for those mamas out there that when you hit 6 months, that's when I had my kid at 23, 24 weeks. And so you would never know he was a preemie. He's built like a football player. He's a big, strong, tough guy, but he never gets a cold. And it sends me like into a panic mode. So, he picked up like a care package. Like I gave him everything in my house, food, everything. And then I called him later on. I'm like, do you want me to come over? And he said, no, I'm okay. And like 10 minutes later, he said, well, do you want to come over? And I was like, yeah, I'm on my way. So I stayed there with him. Friday, Saturday, John came over early and took him to urgent care while I continued to just like get things ready for the house for him for when he got back, whatever he needed done that he didn't have to worry about, food in the house and, you know, clean clothes when he goes back to work and just straightening up for him. And then John said, you know, we were exposed to him and, you know, we got a watch, and I was just feeling so run down. I had a slight headache. And then John said, I think I'm getting sick. And here we go, you know, Gabrielle texts me, oh no, you know, take the oil of oregano. And I'm like, the oil of oregano, I forgot to order it. And so I'm texting her and she's sending me pictures of what to get from Amazon. It came today, it took 2. And John still wants to eat vitamin C, but I'm taking the oil of oregano. The nasal spray that she told me to get, that didn't come. I'm really bummed about that. But this is what I mean. Like, I have an extension of people that, you know, I care about. I love that you're here. I love that we have this camaraderie, this flow of conversation, whether it's here on the channel or some of you have my phone number. You all have my email address. Yeah, whether you're a member or a subscriber, my email is always at the bottom of every video that I've done. And so, I was feeling so good, and that was like such a pick me up. I was like, girl, go wash your face, get out of this bed, and go put some makeup on, and say to your subscribers and your members. Then I said, let's get this room in some order that we could, you know, see what's going on here, because I am doing stuff. I'm going to just pause you while I turn this. So my thumb hit the button, and it's a whole new video. Look at my pretty flowers that I took from my house. So here he is. This is what I'm working on, my angel. I got a bunch of stuff to show you guys. It's not just this angel and these bookmarks that I'm done with from Make Market. Here's where I am with him. He is my February canvas. His bottom is done, and the top row is done, and the bottom row is done. Oh, can you see that? Okay. Ooh, girl. The top row. Here's the bottom row. And then then there's another row here, and then here's the other row here. Now I just have to marry the two. So I'm going to be working here, and when I do that, I'm going to go silent, and we're going to do that Self-Care Sunday. Let's just see that we get him all. I love this. And I think that his arms and his torso and his face all came out really well. I opted to do this section next because I think there's a lot of ABs on this side and not so many on the, or do I have it backwards? I don't have it backwards. I have to turn him around again. I noticed this in the other one too. I do. Let me turn him around because I want to be working with ABs. So where's a big sheet of, I think I put them all away. Here we go. Let's get a big sheet of release paper out of the straw. Cover this back up. Boom, boom. I'm going to turn this around. So I'm going to be working on this side, I think. Let me see. Yeah, they're all ABs. And maybe it'll give me a chance to finish his arm here so I can get more of a picture here. Okay. So we'll work on that when I come back to do Self-Care Sunday. Now I'm going to turn you around again. This time try not to get my finger in the way. Okay, so I told you guys a little while ago that I had ordered this from ArtDot. I want to call this Day of the Dead, am I right? Is that Day of the Dead? I think it is. And I made a mistake. I ordered 2. And I said, oh, I'm going to do this as a giveaway. So coming up this week, I got the wheel, the Google wheel that you put everybody's names in, and the wheel spins. This is for my members that we're going to, pull a name. And if you want to be, if you don't want to be, tell me, don't put me on the wheel. If you don't want to give me your address to send you anything, that's fine. Now, I have 2 of these. However, I don't foresee myself doing this, but I bought this because I was like, I'm a big ArtDot lover, even though we didn't have such a good time with those trays. Are they around still? I think here's one. And it wasn't just opening the trays, okay? You all seen this video. I'm sure you've seen one of your favorite creators doing this. It was the fact, too, that when I took the lid off, because now I got this to work, okay, but now it's loose. So it's opening up pretty easily, even with that little snap in there. when I took the lid off and put it down, I couldn't find it because it's clear. And I was like, where is it? I was like, I got enough problems. So, I mean, this aside, I love ArtDot. In fact, I'm going to show you something that I just got from them too. So let's put that on the side. So I don't foresee myself finishing this if I open it. I have another one. This one's going to be a giveaway. I have another one. So I really bought it because I wanted to know, what is an ArtDot canvas like? What are the drills like? And I'm thinking, rather than just do a video and then I put it away and throw it in the closet, if you don't mind that this was opened and that I showed it and then just rolled it. I love that it's in this canister, and then just rolled it back up and gave it to you. I'll put a little note inside too. I'm going to give the other one away is what I'm saying. Okay, so that's that. That's coming this week. Put that there. What else do I have to show you? I have everything around me. I'm getting like claustrophobic. Speaking of ArtDot, I bought these. You guys know I have the blue ones, the original blue ones. Then they came out with the purple ones that on the back that just said Stay Calm and Diamond Paint. These say, oh, I thought they put it on here. Oh, they drilling and chilling. You get 6 large, you get 4 small. Okay, so I love ArtDot. Here we go. Here they are. Let's get this down. There's my tea. You don't mind looking at this body, do you? Here we go. I had them out. I was using them. Of course I was using them. Drilling and chilling. They got the little spout. They stack really nicely, one on top of the other. I use these when I have a confetti heavy type of a canvas. And you know, I take my China marker, or I've been joking around. I'm like, a China marker is a wax pencil. You can use your kid's crayon. So if I'm working with a star, I just put a star here, and I know that's what's in the drill tray, okay? And what's nice about these is you can create your own palette, because they have these little hinges on them, and you snap them together. Why does this always happen when you're on film? they do snap together. They snap together nicely. You're not playing nice. Here we go. Okay, so they snap together. You can see there's a little lock and key kind of a thing. Okay, there you go. They snap together like that. And then you have 6 of the large. Now, I usually I don't fill them all, because with these trays, you have to put one on top of the other when you go to dump them out. Unless I'm still like, you know, you have some professional advice that you can give me, because when I go to tip them over, they'll glide and all, but some of them might get stuck, and then I'm going like this and they're flicking all over. So I put one on top of the other. It will lock in nicely. And then I'll bang the back and they all come out, no problem. But I like keeping one as a reserve, as a lid. And then you can even, you know, put these on here if you want, like that. They'll lock into here too. And they have 2 hinges on this side. So if you're standing up, some of us stand when we diamond paint. You could stand with this like this. I used to watch one girl who used to have them like up on a, like what you would put like a cookbook or something, like a stand. Like, how does she diamond paint like that with them like this? I would be so afraid of them falling, because I am clumsy. So I did get these from ArtDot. I like them. So now I have blue, and I have pink, and I have purple. So let's take these apart, put them here. Going crazy with doing the ArtDot clear trays, and I really wanted them to work, because I'm telling you guys, I'm just so over, especially when you have a big canvas. I'm so over opening drills, closing drills, opening them, putting them back. Oh, they're all over the place. And then like Foofy's in here, and he's like, oh, what are you doing? Can I help? And I'm like, no, you can't, get away. I got drills all over. So what did I get? Where are they? I love that I put my girls up that aren't done yet. And oh, who was it that told me? She's like, I ordered your girl because I saw her up on your wall. And I'm like, she's going to be so much fun, because she's a lot of color blocking. Okay. So what did I order? My Barbara told me to get this. Betsy. I'm like, that's not right. That's not it. Betsy, my California girl. She told me to get these. Okay, so let's look at them. Betsy, you told me to get large. I got tiny. But then I went back and got the large. I was like, but these are like, what? Does she know me? You were like, get the one. I ran back. I was like, oh, she told me get the large. Let me get the large. I'm going to open these up. Now, I wanted the baby pink. Now, this I don't understand. The baby pink, like this color I wanted, was $5 more than these. And I was like, keep your baby pink. I can get, you know, another, I could put this towards another purchase. Here we go. So I got these. Here's the large. Now, if they have extra large, I'm going to get extra large too. Tray brick. Okay. And she said they open and close and the lid doesn't come off. So I'm going to be kitting up one of my master classes in here. So there was 10 large for like $19 and change. Okay. And there's 20 small. Now, when you're doing a confetti canvas and you have a lot of colors, you know, there's not a lot of each one of those drills. So am I bummed that I got the tiny? No, I'm not. Here we go. Let's put these here. And then I'm going to show you what else I got from the name of this company is called what? Cateared. And here's the 20 large. 20 large coming at you. I feel like I'm back in the casino. Here we go. playing with the chips. So these are the small. Do we have specs on this? Now I'm back to when I used to work for the architects. Do we have specs on this? No more transferring drills. Pet friendly. Don't worry about pets knocking it over. Your desk stays tidy. Woo! Here we go. There's a little QR code. You could see them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. How to open. Well, that's nice that they told you how to open it. How to open it. Just saying. It's an inside joke. How to open. Hold and open. Oh, it's like if you're being a smarty. Okay. Are there any specs in here? Now, I think I took... Oh, I know what I got. I did take it downstairs because we're now ready to get a closet in our bedroom. So this is 2.5 inches by 2 inches. It's actually smaller than a business card. Do I have a business card here? I think I saw one. Where did I see one? Where'd you go? Here it is. Because a business card is 3.5 inches by 2 inches. And that I know because I used to work for a printer. Okay, let me see. We got 3 occupations going so far. Yeah. There you go. And so the bigger ones are, I think they're just so cute. And they're in this Barbie pink. This one is, I'm trying to just get the inside. 3 3/4 by 2.5. Aren't they adorable? Now, while I was there, for another $17, I could have got a pen, or I could have got a pen with a mystery canvas. And the mystery canvas was black and white, no color in it at all. And it reminded me of my girl, 80s chick with glasses, because she likes those kind of things. And I always tease her, you should just go diamond pan newspaper, because that's what it looks like to me. So, let me see, what was I? Oh, so I said, now, let me not think I got to get the most for my money in this situation. I wanted this pen. Now, let me tell you something about this pen. Let me put it up against my other pens. This is one of my other, look at the size. But I love this pen too. This is my big bad mama. I love her. Heavy, heavy. And then I have, oh, where's my favorite one? Oh, you're all my favorites. I'm sorry. This one I got from Temu, and I really like it. So is it like a Temu? It's like a Temu size. Okay. I love the feel of this pen also. And it's a Temu pen. This is a resin pen. This is resin. Here's the one I got from Diamond Painting Anonymous. So they're like the same size. Where's my... Here she is. This is Leopard Leather Works. So you can see the difference. Is my Big Mama... You're about the same size. You should really be Big Mama. You should be Big Daddy. Now I'm going back to Cat on the Hot Tin Roof. There we go. Tennessee Williams. Big Mama and Big Daddy. These two are like always in my arsenal. I use this one a lot because Leopard Leather Works, let me just tell you, I can't really... Well, this is Flava at Flawa. She's in Florida, and she said, you picked my favorite diamond painting pen, and I get it. This has got some weight to it. But this one is, if I'm going to get another custom pen, I'm going to get it from Leopard Leather Works. Outstanding. Balanced. Feels good. I can diamond paint forever with this pen, no problem. As a beginner diamond painter, I always had all different pens in my hand because I also paint and I would switch off. I would have different, you know, placers on here too. Like this is a 10, this is a 14. Okay, so I'm not really getting off the track. This is a 7. So I would keep different size placers and pens in my hand, but I also like to switch off. And you guys know, you've seen me diamond paint with my skinny pens that come into a kit. Sometimes I just like holding a skinny pen with my little cushy here. It just feels lighter. You got to take a break. If you're a writer, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you can write and write and write. That's why you when you get a pen that works for you as a writer, you don't let it go. And I'm still mad at Bic because they got rid of my favorite pen. You don't change a winner. So let me tell you what I got from Cateared. I got this one. And I just liked that it was almost like my angel painting blue and purple. It's very, very light. It's a cross between maybe the pens that you get or like a pen that you would write with. A really nice pen that you would write with. But let me tell you about this on here. It's pinpoint precision. I don't know if I've ever had, I think that these do screw in. And this is kind of odd to me. This is just like a 2-pointer. I'm going to see how this works with a square diamond. I don't think it works that well with a round diamond. It seems to be getting in my way with this canvas, but I'm just intrigued by it. But I love, love, love the pen. And I'm pretty anxious pretty eager, I should say, that to try other products from them, because this just feels so good. So he's going to stay out. Here's my bricks. What else did I have to show you guys? Okay, let's put the bricks away. We'll be kitting up this week. We're getting ready for a master class. And this is what we will be using. Okay. Try not to drop anybody and make a big, big, big loud noise. Okay, so they can stay there. Need a sip of my tea. Earlier in the week, I went to Michael's and I bought a few things at Michael's. I bought these bookmarks that I finished. And I bought myself, where'd you go? Some Diamond Glaze. I got this off of Amazon because I knew these bookmarks were coming and I had an idea. And I bought the coasters. I'm not going to Diamond Glaze the coasters because this is a glue and they're coasters. Okay. I wanted to see how this would work. And I was pretty anxious to get it done. So I diamond painted just the bottom half of this one with you guys. And I said, I'm going to put the Diamond Glaze on and I want to continue just to work up here. So this dried. And then when I was done with this, I put the next coat on. And you could tell this is one coat of Diamond Glaze. This is 2. And even though this was dried, I was able to put another coat on. And I kind of like that it's thicker down the bottom and it's, you know, just one coat up here. Being that these are dark, you can't see them so well, but they did have a beachy kind of a bookmark that I think would look so pretty. It would look like little shells and little fish underneath water. Okay, I might go back and get them and do that. Anyway, then I did this one. And this one, I poured it on. I did my little outline like I was frosting a cookie, filled it in. It was all domed up high. Now, if what you're laying it on, it's a table, it was level, but these might not be level. They might be bent a little bit. And so it pooled in one section, but I was able to fix it. I was able to go in, put another layer on, and fix it. So this was a heavy pour, okay? But I was still able to fix it. And then this very last one, I did three times. I put the Diamond Glaze on. So this is my thickest one, and I love it. And I love it because it's going to be a bookmark, and I don't have to worry about the drills falling off. The only thing I would say is don't take the plastic off the back till you're done so you don't get any glue back there. I love them. I love the feel of them. I love the way they feel. I love that they look like they're underneath glass. So that's something else that I want to show you guys, these bookmarks. I think they're so pretty. Make Market bookmarks. So pretty. And I love the effect with the Diamond Glaze. So these are going to go in my, you know what book? Mark Nepo. These are going to be my Book of Awakening bookmarks. Though John wants one. I bought him a book for Valentine's Day. And he's like, can I have one of them bookmarks? I was like, sure. Just don't take the crescent moon. That's mine. So he gets to pick one there. And then I think that I am all done showing you what has been going on in the Pescator mansion. While, you know, the last time I saw you, I don't even know when it was. So I'm going to diamond paint, and then there'll be no sound. And then I will be doing a voiceover for Self-Care Sunday. Because you guys, it makes my heart so happy that you know, every time, you know, I could see the analytics. And so when someone comes over to my site and they're checking me out, they're not even looking at diamond painting. They're looking at Self-Care Sunday, because I get to see, well, where's everybody going? And they're going to Self-Care Sunday. And I'm like, really? And yes, you really, really are. And I love it. And I was like, heck with the algorithm, because let me tell you, there's something else that I forgot in my thank you to you guys. There are brands that I wanted to, you know, introduce to you guys, and they're like, yeah, sure, send us your socials. And I knew as soon as I sent them, they were going to tell me, oh, you know, we love your personality and stuff. We think you would be great, but you don't have the following. And I thought, you know, I could go out and I could pay somebody to get me a following. I don't want to do that, because I want to have a connection with the people that I'm speaking to, and I want them to know that they can also connect to me. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. And they connect to me through this Self-Care Sunday a lot of the times. And so I was like, you know, I was wondering what was happening with my channel, trying to reach this goal of 1,000. I'm like, why do I look like I'm being, you know, almost like shadowed in a way? And when I asked the Creator University at YouTube, they were like, well, we don't know where to place you. Like, are you a diamond painter or are you into self-care? And I'm like, but they're both a meditative kind of a process. Well, you got to find a way to rebrand it. And I just thought, let me just do my thing. And so I'm going to sneak it in there. We're talking about angels. We're talking about doing an angel. My third diamond painting is going to be a masterclass. I miss my masterclasses so much. And, you know, talking about an algorithm, I found a little girl today. Her name is Madison Bush, and I put her in my post. And she was like, my first time doing a diamond painting. And I was like, let me see, you know, because, you know, you want to see, like, you know, how's she going to do and what does she think? But I went to her channel first. I'm like, she's a makeup artist. And I was a makeup artist too. So what is that? How many? 4 careers now? We're up to 4 careers. I was a makeup artist back in the day. I had my own makeup company, did it all myself, built my website, built my brand. But I only sold to other makeup artists. That's what set me apart from the crowd. So I'm like, oh, I really like to see how this makeup artist is going to, which is going to think about this creative process. And because she's painting another canvas, you know, she's a makeup artist, she's painting a face. So she did a Diamond Dots Van Gogh Starry Night. And when she unrolled it, like she put her coasters on each point of the canvas because it wouldn't flatten out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna start with number one. And I was like, I did the same thing. Like I started with number one and I put all the number ones in the canvas. Then she was like, I'm up to two. And she's got the sweetest little accent. I can't tell where she's from. Little kind of Southern accent. But it was, you could see that she just got so addicted so quick. And I think at one point she had to take a break because she got sick and she was gone for like 5 days. And when she finally said, well, I'm going to get back to this. And she put her first drill down. She was like, oh my God, I miss this so much. I miss this feeling of like dotting these. And she's like, when I'm out, all I can think about is like my diamond painting. And, you know, it just recaptured all those moments for me. Tracy sent me a text message. She sent me a comment today. And she said, this was such a lovely conversation. And it was me and John after I finished Irises, Van Gogh's Irises. So I put something out into the universe because I was thinking, oh, she's doing Van Gogh's Starry Night, but my first big girl canvas, you might think it was this one up here. That was my first square. But my first real big girl canvas was Diamond Dots. And I saw that on sale at Michael's and I was like, I guess I'm doing summer with the masters. So here we go. And John said, I knew where I was going to find you every time I came home. I knew if I called you, I knew what you were doing. I knew where I was going to find you when I came home from work. I knew what you were going to be doing after we were done dinner. Like, you're just so addicted. And Tracy said, this was such a lovely conversation that you and your husband had. And he said, when you're done that diamond painting, I'm going to pop open a bottle of champagne and we're going to sit down and talk. And I thought, oh, okay. And we sat down and talked. I know that Van Gogh is one of his favorite artists. But I don't remember if he said this during the videotaping, but I think he said, well, how many drills you got on here? Like, about like, maybe about 1,000 or something. And when I told him, I can't remember. And he was like, what? Like, you sat here and maybe it's about 50,000, 60,000. I can't remember, but it was big. It was the biggest one for me. And so it was so good. If you go to my post, check her out because she's like, I think I'm going to do another one of these. And you could just tell, like, she's like, I'm hanging this up in my office. And you know that she was going right back to Michael's to go get herself another diamond painting. So I think we should all flood her and tell her that the addiction is real and that, you know, welcome to it. All right, I'm going to start diamond painting. And I'm going to make sure that this side is the side with all the AB drills. Because I'm just in an AB kind of mood, a sparkly, shiny kind of a mood. And yeah, and I will see you for Self-Care Sunday. Coming right up. And I'm back. And I'm back with all the usual suspects. All my little diamond pens here. And my new one. And what else do I have here? Here we go. I need this guy. This is my cuticle nipper. And I have my fingertip moistener that I use in case I drop any drills. And you guys know that I keep my drills separated between white symbols and symbols that are printed in black. And before I go quiet, I'm going to do this for Pam. Can't have any crying in diamond painting, Pam. So I have a diamond painting ruler that I'm going to use here, just here in this section for you to show you that if you are having, you know, you were saying that you don't have alignment, you can use a diamond painting ruler. So I'm going to do this first section just for you. Here we go. So I'm starting this reading. I'm looking at what I'm doing, and I had just said to Pam that I was going to use a ruler so that she can get at least a foundation of alignment. What a play on words, huh? A foundation of alignment. So I will be very honest with you. I didn't know I was going to be doing this today. And I have been reading my daily readings from Book of Awakening. And so I kind of know where Mark Nepo is at in this time of the year, like February, what his February readings are about. And they're mainly about being able to see the vastness around you, not to let one small thing shrink you into that one thing that happened, but to step back and just to broaden your focus. But when I had decided to do this today, when I had said, let me see where I am, because I had so much stuff to show you guys, and I was like, okay, that only took about 30 minutes. I could do a 30-minute reading, a 30-minute diamond painting, and a reading. And I think what I'm going to do is something that I do when I don't know where I want to start. Like, did I want to read today's reading, which was February the 16th, my cousin's birthday. Hi, cousin Georgie, happy birthday. And I said, no, I'm going to, the last reading was so synchronistic that I said, okay, I'm going to put my faith in my own soul and spirit, the book and spirit that guides me and watches over me, to just open the book and do a reading. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hear me without flip through these pages, and when I feel like I'm going to stop, which is very hard because I have so many bookmarks in this book. I don't even know where I'm going to put a bookmark that I made. Okay, let's just open it up. So there's on page 164 and 165, May 18th and May 19th. And the one that is highlighted, because I probably read it and said, oh, okay, this is resonating with me. Oh, I'm losing a bookmark. May 19th. Let's see what this is about. The bee comes. The flower doesn't dream of the bee. It blossoms and the bee comes. At times in my life, I have wanted love so badly that I have reimagined myself, reinvented who I am in an attempt to be more desirable or more deserving, only to discover again and again that it is the tending of my own soul that invites the natural process of love to begin. So this is like resonating within me like an echo. I've been there where I have reinvented myself again and again and again and again. And yeah, I'm very transparent with you guys and very honest. And my son is a member of my channel, and my husband John is a member of my channel. But when I was married previously, I felt like this was all I was doing in my marriage, was reinventing myself again and again and again and again. Like, when do I get the love? Like, who do I have to be to be seen or be validated? And it was one of the things that, even though John and I have known each other for a really long time, we never really knew each other. But when we started to get close, which was like, there was a big shift in my life. I was teaching yoga, and the studio was kind of becoming too commercialized for me. And I just knew that I was going to move on. And I knew that my dad was ill and I was going to spend more time with him. And there were these big, like, seismic shifts that were happening in my life as far as my marriage and at that time. And I knew that I was going to make some really big changes. But during this time, I reconnected with a bunch of friends, but there were a few that really, we kind of were each other's touchstones. You know, and John was one of them. And it was really kind of odd because I had known John so much, and the only time that I really seen him was when he had a gig or something. And we're a group of friends that we all went to the same school. We're from the same neighborhood. We all support one another in our efforts. And if you're having a show, or I'm having something, I open the store. Like I can always count on my Saint Nick's friends that they're going to be there, and they're going to cheer. We're going to cheer each other on. So I really only knew John that way. I knew some of his ex-girlfriends, but really just knew him in a musical vein. And so when we really started to hang out and get close, it really was that I felt seen. Like, he really didn't know me either, and he was like, "Wow, you know what? This chick is kind of blowing my mind." I didn't realize that she was so. Let me use his words, and I'm sorry, hon, but I'm going to tell them, and I really should let him say it because he said it one day when I was being very truthful and very honest with him, and he just looked at me and he was like, I always thought that you were so vapid and vacuous. I didn't know you were this deep of a person. So, like, I really felt seen. Let me get on with this reading. I don't know what road I'm going down right now. Just at this one paragraph. And this is Book of Awakening. This is Mark Nepo. Like, he just throws you. You're reading, and then all of a sudden you're thrown. So, okay. At times in my life, I have wanted love so badly that I have reimagined myself, reinvented who I am in an attempt to be more desirable or more deserving, only to discover again and again that it is the tending of my own soul that invites the natural process of love to begin. And that is so true. I remember my very first tumble into love. I found such comfort there that, like Narcissist, I became lost in how everything other than my pain was reflected in her beauty. All the while, I was abdicating my own worth, empowering her as the key to my sense of joy. Oh, stepping outside yourself. Okay. If I have learned anything through the years, it is that though we discover and experience joy with others, our capacity for joy is carried like a pod of nectar in our very own breast. So true. Oh boy. And, did you ever see one of those questions that you see every now and again? I don't know if they're like psychological questions or philosophy questions. Like, what would you tell your younger self if you can go back to your younger self? And my younger self was always more mature than her age. In fact, I hung around with John's brother, who was 2 years older than me, than I. But that was the bunch of Saint Nick's kids that I hung out with. I didn't hang out with the kids of my own grade. I felt like I was just too mature for them, and they were just doing silly things and wanted to be with the older kids. So if I could tell my younger self that one thing, it would be that your capacity for joy is carried like a pod of nectar in your very own being. And you might know that, but it's when you start to feel it, when you know that maybe you love someone, but you also know that you love yourself more. And so I don't know if that could be looked at as being protective, but maybe at one point in my life I felt like that was a wall. Like, yeah, I love you, but I love me more. But now I know that it is, I know my worth. Like, I knew that I wasn't going to allow anyone to like treat me badly or yeah, I feel like I'm contradicting myself because that's exactly what I did, in a way. But there was a third person there, and that was my son, Josh. So there was also considering him also in the equation. So I think that to have his stability, maybe I created my own world. And I did this as a kid too. Like as a kid, I fell into my own world because I was more mature than the other kids, and I was more creative, and kind of just couldn't find that other person that got me, or had similar interests that I had. And so you kind of go within yourself and create your own world. And that's what I did in my previous marriage. I just created my own world. But then there's also that time that you come in your life where you feel like, am I settling here? Or am I happy? And then like the whole thing, like, well, are you happy? Can you touch that nectar within yourself? And it was like, it's for all the things that I do to fill the well creatively. I am not taking care of myself. And I'm just looking at myself on the video. And what I did right there was I put a piece of release paper on the part of the painting that is done, so that I could push the wax into the pen and not get it, make sure that it's in there good, so that when I do go to pick up the next drill, that I don't have a bunch of wax on it. That's a little tip there. So yeah, I mean, I think that that would be what I would tell my younger self, is that to protect this goodness that you have, and that you don't need to look outside for joy, because if you do, then it's you're hinging your happiness on someone else, and you're expecting them to make you happy, and you're expecting them to come through, and you're expecting them to behave in a certain way, and all that snowballs into control, and it's never a good thing. It's just not. You have to be able to sit with yourself, and if you don't like being in your own company and you think that you're in bad company, well, then you got to find a way. You got to find a way to be with yourself and like the person that you are. And maybe that is change, like really, I would say small changes, but I'm not a small time kind of girl. I go big. I blow everything up. That's me. For as much as I'm a type of person that will respond and not react, I think I get to a point where I also try to make things work 101 million ways. And then by that time, it's like I finally get it through in my head that, it doesn't matter how many different ways you come up with, it's not working. And then I just blow everything up. So don't wait for that point. Just know. Just sit with yourself and know that you are enough, and you will find that joy within someone else that you can share your world with. You'll be walking around with a pocket full of silver linings, because that's what I tell people now. When they're down or when they're sad or whatever, I'm like, I got a pocket full of silver linings. Yeah, here, take some. Let's move on. Okay. I now believe that our deepest vocation is to root ourselves enough in this life that we can open our hearts to the light of experience, and so bloom. For in blooming, we attract others. In being so thoroughly who we are, an inner fragrance is released that calls others to eat of our nectar, and we are loved by friends and partners alike. You can't be anyone else. There's only you, and there's only one of you, and people are looking to be like you. You know what I mean? But they can't be. This is why I would tell people, like, I don't look over my shoulder. I don't look at what anybody else is doing, no matter what. I just gave you a bunch of my careers that I did in my previous life. But even like the makeup industry, I so wanted to be a part of the makeup industry that I tried once early on in my career. And, it blew up because I didn't know the business end of it. And then when I got to know the business end of it, and I was more creative, and I built myself, it was called Beauty and the Beat. And I built myself a makeup company. I was really proud of it, and I was ready to launch. But then I went and looked around at, what's this company doing, and that company doing, and Chanel, and Urban Decay, and Tony and Tina, and this one, and that one, and MAC, and whatever. And I'm like, I can't be any of them because they're not me. And I had to sit down with myself and figure out, who was I in this industry? What did I want to be? I was a makeup artist. I knew what I wanted as a consumer. And so rather than try and reach the consumer, I reached other makeup artists. So I really sat down and thought about where I wanted to. I could have just hopped on board. Even with diamond painting, I watched a lot of diamond painters when I was beginning diamond painting, and I have my favorites, and there's still, some of them are still my favorites, but I can't do what Lizette does, or what Anthony does, or what Mia does. All our experiences, we're all doing the same thing. We're diamond painting, but each one of our experiences is different. And I just was like, well, I never saw anybody do this way, but this is how I do it. And I did have someone say to me, I did have another diamond painter that I had really liked, and I watched her a lot, and she had told me that I was doing something wrong. And that, like, the way that that I shouldn't have put putty in my multi-placer, that it was made that you only use wax in your multi-placer. And I got like kind of like shocked there for a moment. I was like, oh my God, I've been making all these diamond paintings. People are probably laughing at me that I'm doing it all wrong. And I just thought, you know what? This works for me. There is no wrong. I would tell any one of my students, when I was so privileged to teach yoga to a room full of people and watch and give them cues to get into a posture, and watch them all do it differently. Because there is no right or wrong. There's only the way that your body moves and how it feels in your body. How does it feel in your body when you do something? And this is for you, Pam, too, You're a beginning diamond painter, and I know you're eager to learn, but you're going to find your own rhythm and your own groove. And it's like watching Madison this morning, and her peeling the plastic off and opening one package at a time. And like, she didn't stop and think, well, are there other diamond painters out there on YouTube? Maybe I should be watching them, what they're doing. She's like, no, she did it her way. And that made her happy, sitting on the floor and being hunched over, or sitting at her sofa and being hunched over her coffee table. And she was like, past couple of days, my body was hurting, but, I think it's getting used to it, But, I might want to say to her, listen, here, come over to my channel and check out my channel and check out my tips and tricks and stuff. But she'll find her way. She's not doing it wrong. She's doing it how it makes her happy. So do your thing, bloom where you're planted, take your own experience, share it if you want to, inspire other people if you can. And, don't get caught up either in that right or wrong. It's doing your own thing. When someone is authentic, and you're going to attract the people that you want. Like I said earlier, I could have gone to a company and said, yeah, find me a bunch of people that'll, up my numbers on YouTube. But I wanted to attract the people that wanted to be here because they saw something in me. And in turn, they're not in front of a camera, but I see them when they take time out to send me an email, or they take time out of their day to send me, oh, here, go get this on Amazon. I see them without seeing them. I can hear them. I can hear the caring and the compassion and the concern that they have for me when something crazy happens in this city of mine. And you guys, are in my Gmail saying, are you okay? You have to be authentic. That sounds like a command, and I don't want it to sound like a command. So I'm going to rewrite that. I'm going to change that. Be yourself. No one can be you. No one. Stand apart. It's more crowded. This is from Tony Robbins. It's more crowded on the bottom, where everybody's just okay with the status quo and following everybody else. And it's a little lonely when you separate yourself from the crowd, but you're going to be so much more happier. For in blooming, we attract others in being so thoroughly who we are. An inner fragrance is released that calls others to eat of our nectar, and we are loved by friends and partners alike. It seems the very job of being is to ready us. It seems the very job of being is to ready us for such love. By attending our own inner growth, we uncannily become exactly who we are. And like the tulip who blossomed petal in the exact shape of a bee, our self-actualization attracts a host of loving others more real than all of our fantasies. Oh, it's so true. I couldn't have dreamed John up. you know, I had a dream of the partner that I wanted, and he excelled that, because I was in that time in my life where I blew up my world and I was not going to be anybody other than who I was. In this way, the universe continues through the unexpected coming together of blossomed souls. So, if you can, give up the want of another and be who you are. And more often than not, love will come at the precise moment you are simply loving yourself. Wow, that could have been a Valentine's Day. I mean, I just love that I just opened this book and it opened up to a reading that I couldn't remember. I kind of remembered the beginning part. The flower doesn't dream of the bee, it blossoms and the bee comes. And I highlighted the title, like, this is one of your favorites. So I always tell you that the end of Mark's reflection for the day, he puts into the bottom like a little exercise that you can do. I think also in the back of this book, which made me love this book even more, when I came to the end of it, I believe that if you're looking for a glossary in the back, like an index in the back, not a glossary, an index in the back, like you're like, oh, I want to do a reading on like gratitude, or the index in the back is so very, very short, and I never find what I'm looking for. So I think that's why I resorted to just opening the book. Now, this isn't the book. I have so many Mark Nepo books, but this is the one that I really always come back to. But in one of his books, he has another exercise in the back that has to do with journaling. So it's not this one. I just carried this one around a lot. But he does give you something to reflect upon when you are when you come to the end of the reading. I'm trying to look and see what the heck I'm doing here, taking things out and putting them back. So he asks, after you read this reading, that you identify one trait that makes you feel good about who you are. Is it your laugh, maybe? Is it your smile? Is it your ability to listen? Is it the sound of your voice? Well, one of the things that I love about myself is the ability to listen. And when I meet up with my friends, they're so eager to tell me what is going on with them because they know that I'm a good listener. And they'll even call me up. They'll be like, are you free for lunch? I really miss you, girlfriend. I got to sit down. I got to talk to you. And sometimes I think about the fact that I did have a little bit of college, and I did want to become a psychologist. And then I didn't know what area of psychology that I wanted to branch out in. And so I had like a little bit of a rewrite in my life, my son and everything else. And it wasn't until my son turned 3, 4, 5, maybe about 6 or 7, that I went back to college, because I was like, I started something and I didn't finish it, and I have to finish it. I have to know, is this still the path for me? And it wasn't, but I wanted to finish out the course, and I did that, and I, had really good marks, and I had some kind of idea of where I wanted to go, but then I was just like, no, I'm not feeling it wholeheartedly. But here I am. I'm a great listener for my friends. I love that about myself. And I have had students tell me that and I always want to laugh because they tell me that my voice is, when I would teach yoga, they would tell me, your voice is so soothing. You know, I get so relaxed. And when I'm in class with you, and I thought, oh, okay. And I remember, telling my ex-husband this, and he like just looked at me. I'm like, yeah, I know, because they should come home with me because I do nothing but scream, right? So, plant where you are, plant where you bloom where you're planted. And I bloomed in my yoga studio. I bloomed when I was at, I call it my yoga studio, in my yoga home. I bloomed there, and people were attracted to me there because I was able, even when I walked in the door of the yoga studio, I would be so, I can't remember a time that I walked to the yoga studio where I wasn't full of anxiety, full of uncertainty, sometimes crying because things were so bad in my home life, and I wanted to escape, but I didn't know how, and I was afraid to, and was I going to blow up a 30-year marriage, and all these things. But I would walk into that yoga studio, and I would just feel my shoulders come down, and I would feel myself let go of a breath that I was holding all the way on the walk there, which was a pretty good walk, and I would just forget the world, and I was able to be myself, and I was never that person again. Really, actually, talk about having self-actualization in real time until I was here, until I started to do this self-care Sunday, because I used to teach yoga on Sundays, and this is pretty much the way my classes would go in yin and restorative yoga, at least. Vinyasa, no, I'm not doing that, a lot of talking. I'm doing a lot of cueing, but in yin and restorative, yeah, this is the way it pretty much would go, and I really feel myself here. I really, really feel myself here. And John tells me all the time, you're so comfortable in front of a camera. I'm like, I don't even know I'm on a camera. Like, I turned the thing on, and like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I can edit it out. I really set the goal to not do a lot of editing because it's just a lot. I don't want to look at a lot of edits. So I just want to be as true to myself as I can be. So identify a trait in you that makes you feel good about who you are. The next time you exhibit this goodness, notice how who you are affects others. Well, I think I kind of did that. My friends love talking to me. I know that they feel seen. I know that they feel heard. I don't offer advice. I'm only listening to what their experience of whatever it is that they're processing. How they're processing it, just to be there. It's not always necessary to fill the void or the space with words. Sometimes you can just be quiet and just listen and just be there for someone that just needs to let it all out. And so I know how my listening affects others. I know how my voice, I hope have the same effect here as I did in the yoga studio. And like John and I make funny faces at each other, and like we know how it's going to affect one another. Like, I'm sure if you're in a relationship, or you've been in a relationship, you had those little bantering that goes on, and or maybe silly faces or pet names for each other, and how you make the other person feel. So the next time you exhibit that goodness of that trait that makes you feel good about who you are, how does it? Do you notice how it affects other people? Mark Nepo says that these small moments are the beginnings of love. These small moments are the beginnings of love. So I'm not thinking about being anywhere but here right now. And I think that I feel love every time that I'm here. Every time I'm doing something to put on my channel. I'm always trying to cram so much in sometimes. Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time because I'm trying to tell you guys something, but I forgot what it was I was telling you. But there was a meaning there was a point, but it'll come to me because I want you guys to know, or like with the tips and tricks, like there's, like I'm always trying to, show you, um, um, give all. Like my yoga teacher had said, when we graduated, and part of her, sending us out into the world, she's like, I taught you everything that I know, and what you do with it is up to you. And I was like that too when I met Maria Thomas, and I got certified in Zentangle, and she came over to me and she whispered in my ear, and she said, go out and do great things, do good things. That's a teacher, you know. They give you everything. They're not afraid that, oh, I can't tell this person this or that. I can't tell them how to do this or that, because then they'll steal it from me and then they'll become famous. Like these silly, programs that we run in our mind. No, they can't. They can't do it like you. There's only one of you. My grandmother would sit with me and she would say, Elisa, I would videotape my grandmother making something. I couldn't do it with her. I couldn't do it like her. Maybe I could now because I know what it is to do things with love now, or just don't do them. And back then I was just rushing to do things. So no one can do anything the way that you can do it. You can give them all the instruction in the world. They can't do it like you. They don't have your life. They don't have your life experiences. They don't have your brain. They don't have your passion. They don't have your perspective. Right? So just be you. And notice how you affect others. And the small moments, those moments when you're being yourself, they are the beginnings of love. They do not yet have definition. These small moments are the beginnings of love. They do not yet have definition. Take a moment and give thanks for your small goodness and for the potential love of others. And by doing things in love, you attract people, like Mark said, that see the goodness, see the nectar, see the juicy peach, and they want to take a bite out of that. They're like, I want some of that. I feel good. I want people to feel good when they come here. I want them to have a pleasant time. You're giving me like right now, what, at 1:11, my son's birth weight. That was my son's birth weight, 1:11. 1 hour and 11 minutes of your time. Here's that synchronicity again, right? To spend time with me. And I'm so aware of time. If you hang out with me, you're going to realize how aware of time I am. Oh my God. So always talking about time. Keep her like I'm like, the rabbit running around. Was it the rabbit running around with the clock in his hand yelling that he was late? Oh man, I'm always wanting every precious second of this life to be filled with something that is going to bring me joy or give joy, because your life can turn in a minute, on a dime, in a second it can turn. And so I want these moments that I have to be where they're all as many yeses as I can get in this lifetime. Yes, this is what I want to do. Yes, this is where I want to be. Yes, this is who I want to know. Yes, this is who I want to be with. Yes, that's the phone call that I want to make. Yes, that's the place I want to go to. Oh, it doesn't feel good in your body, right? When you're doing something you don't want to do, right? Oh God, it just feels so uncomfortable. You're just like, oh my God, get me out of here. I could be home diamond painting. I could be filling my life up with joy instead of being here. Oh, the worst, John and I went somewhere. We went to go celebrate with people, go out, and like people are walking up to us and they're like, they're like telling us like all their problems. And I'm like, I could be home right now. I don't want to. We're out. We're having a good time. We're dancing and we're having a good time. I don't want to hear about, not that I want to hear about it, but I think that there's a time and a place for stuff like that. And like right now, let's just forget the world, forget the problems that we have. Let's take this joyous time. And like Mark was saying in the readings that I'm reading, like, you wake up, it's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful morning, you have a beautiful cup of coffee in your hand and you're sitting down and you're writing and you get up and you stub your toe and then the whole world just like kind of collapses and it all becomes about your toe that you stubbed, right? Everything else disappears. The beautiful morning, the beautiful reading that you had this morning, the writing in your journal, the gorgeous cup of coffee. It all becomes about this little toe that you banged on the table when you got up, and now you're limping, and now that's all you can focus on. So, like, let's just expand our vision and, like, don't let these little bumps in the road take away from the glimmers that we've talked about here too. We talk about those little glimmers in our life that we really got to let that, like the same way we put so much focus on stubbing the toe. Just go, ouch, where's my coffee? I was having such a good time. Where's that sun? Is it still in the sky? I don't know. And, it probably fell out of the sky when you stubbed your toe. I'm just trying to, like, redirect your thinking a little bit. I love this book. I just love this book. It just gives me so much to process in one page. But I walk away and I just feel like any of the dust that you collect, it just gets washed off my soul. Am I coming to an end here? Oh, look at that gorgeous pen. Isn't that pen gorgeous? Wow, so pretty. I think I'm coming to say goodbye to you guys. Thank you again for joining me today. Thank you for creating this channel with me. You are all so wonderful. I look forward to meeting even more of you. Feel free to contact me by my Gmail at the bottom of this description, or join us with membership. You're going to meet a great group of people. They're just fabulous. And I will see you, as always, in the next one. Bye.